Hello everybody, welcome to part 3 of this series. For those who don't know, this video will be part of a collection of videos, so make sure you check out the first couple. Otherwise, you may be a bit confused about what's going on. For those who are less confused, welcome back folks. Our goal for this stream was to complete the quest for the Thorn, and to do the deed with Red Lucy. For those who aren't keeping track, we've died 28 times, crashed 5 times, and have had sex with 2 people this run. Our overall goal was to complete the base game while only having 1 HP. The rules for those who have forgotten: number 1, we could not wear any armor. Number 2, we could not have any companions. Number 3, we were not allowed to use VATs whatsoever. Number 4, every location in the base game must be found if we were able to reach them. And number 5, we had to have sex with everyone we possibly could. In the last stream, I had said I was going to max out the Vicky and Vance casino. And after doing that off stream, we went around and bought multiple stem packs across the Mojave. We turned in those stem packs and had enough reputation with the followers of the apocalypse to get inside of their safe house now. So we were starting this stream off at Old Mormon Fort. Now that the rules are set and the goals are clear, let's rock and roll. We fast traveled out of Old Mormon Fort to Westside. Our goal was to get to the followers' safe house from here. But there were cazadors along each side of the road, and I didn't want to kill them yet. With the gear that I had, it just wasn't worth the risk. We snuck past them and got to the safe house, no problem though. We took everything that was inside, and then we went to Good Springs so that we could kill the scorpions nearby and steal their offspring in the name of love. We didn't want to fast travel to the cemetery directly, as the bloatflies and scorpions may have respawned. We cleared the scorpions one by one, no problem, using our sniper rifle. This wasn't too challenging, as rad scorpions couldn't shoot at us. We fast traveled back to the Thorn and turned in the eggs, and leveled up. The stats that we chose are on screen right now, and the perk that we chose was Light Step. Fire geckos were next on our genocide list. I was dreading the cazador part of this quest, as I couldn't remember exactly where on the map it wanted us to go for the eggs. We fast traveled from the Thorn to Novak, traded some gear, and headed toward the caves. Cresting a hill, we came across 4 geckos at very close range. We died. Respawning, we needed a better vantage point, so we went down the hill to the right and started sniping them. We cleared those 4 and moved forward, keeping an eye out for any more that may still be alive. We cleared the ones outside and took out our shoddy to get ready for this cave. This wasn't going to go well, folks. Moving slowly into the cave, we died. The slugs that we were using just weren't hitting hard enough, nor did they have the knockback effect. The chance of getting knockback was directly tied to the amount of projectiles. So the more projectiles per shot, the higher chance of getting a knockback. So we switched to buckshot from here on out. But even with the knockback, it still wasn't enough, folks. They overwhelmed us and we died. We needed to rethink our entire approach. So we tried the Q35 matter modulator, but with no luck, folks, we died again. So, taking out our anti-material rifle with explosive rounds, this tactic aggroed the ones further in the cave, yet they couldn't see me yet because I was using a suppressor and I was hidden. We took them out one by one until there was only one left, and it charged at us and we died. So, trying that again, we cleared the first section with the explosive rounds. Now on to the next. We turned a corner and were greeted by a couple of geckos up close, and we died due to our own explosive rounds. We had to worry about splash damage here. We died again, because learning lessons is for suckers, folks. Backing up in the cave, we shot at a wall to aggro them into the longer hallway and took them out one by one. On to the next section. Here, we did the exact same thing, since they were around a corner and down a level. But this area was tricky. One of them rushed us as soon as they got around the corner. We panicked, and we shot too close and died. Finally, we took them all out and finished the caves. By the end, we only had 14 explosive rounds in total. We needed more because Cutthroat wasn't fucking around here, folks. Fast traveling back to the Thorn, the Fiend was back, so we went behind the car barrier and just waited till he wasn't aggroed on us. We took out the fiend while he was shooting at a bunch of civilians. The problem was, we would be gone for typically more than 3 days each time we left the Thorn, meaning we would have to deal with the fiend every time we came back because it took him around 3 days to respawn. Turning in that quest, next up were the Night Stalkers we had to annihilate, which I thought would be trickier than the geckos, but they weren't nearly as bad as I thought they were going to be. Getting to Bloodborne Cave was going to be the stressful part, as the closest location we had was New Vegas Medical Clinic. So we fast traveled there and we started walking, because who needs explosive rounds, am I right? On our way there, we found Raoul's shack, and we snuck by some Deathclaws to the left and right side of the road. Gotta love that silent runner perk. We rounded a hill and spotted 5 Night Stalkers. Luckily, we had spotted them before they spotted us. We got into a spot where they couldn't attack us, so then they would just run away every time we attacked them. They would get out of my line of sight, go from danger to caution, then slowly walk toward me as they looked for me. Rinse and repeat, we finished them off one by one. Now we were heading toward the cave. Entering the cave, we had 2 options before us. One of them was a pathway leading down further into the cave, and the other one was an overhang looking over the back end of the cave. We cleared the back end of the cave no problem, and then we jumped on down. I planned on clearing this cave in reverse. There was one stuck in the floor on my way back up, so we put them out of their misery. And then there were 2 more, so sneaking forward ever so slowly, we had a nice little dance with these Night Stalkers. Luckily, we had saved after killing the one stuck in the floor. We had also realized that we had picked up a grenade earlier, so we threw it around the corner and crippled one of their legs. We took out our Q-35 plasma rifle and waited for them to round the corner. The one who wasn't crippled ended up charging me, but we got a critical on it. The next one was a smaller Night Stalker, so we took out our service rifle with armor-piercing rounds and moved slowly forward. And that's when we realized there were 2 of them. They were both stuck on one another, so I shot at one and released them both and they ran right for us. We got the kill on one of them, but we died either way. So loading back in, we're ready to do this. Hell yes, let's rock and roll. So, when we loaded back in, they were no longer stuck, and they were actually rounding the corner and walking right toward us. This was not good. Not good at all. So, we focused, and we unloaded our service rifle into the bigger of the 2, barely missing a shot. We then took out the smaller of the 2 using mad skills and professional level accuracy. In no way was that complete luck. Moving on, we quick saved and then we leveled up. Our stats are on screen right now. Moving forward, there were 2 left, but they were below half health. Looking back, I assume the grenade I threw earlier had blown up some of the traps further on in the cave. Finishing up with that cave, we went back to the Thorn, and the fiend was there to greet us. Our service rifle made fast work of him though. I was really starting to like this rifle. Maybe we'd do a service rifle only run, what do you guys say? Turning in those eggs, Cazadors were next. Oh Lord help us all. We went to fast travel to the gun runners, and that's when we realized how far away we had to go for these eggs. Are you fucking kidding? Fucking hell, I don't even... So we fast traveled to the gun runners and bought all of the ammo he sold. We then waited 3 days, and this is when the game had crashed. So booting back into the game, we fast traveled to Samson's rock crushing plant and went toward Red Rock. We wanted to get behind Red Rock Canyon, as that's where the Cazadors live. We used the canyon walls to our advantage, making it so the enemies could just not hit us. Kinda like the Night Stalkers before with the previous cave. That is, until we rounded a corner and we were way too close to not be detected. We shot a wall out of panic with an explosive round. So when we loaded back in, I simply decided to go in guns blazing, no more holding back. We actually did pretty well, crippled a couple of them and took them out pretty easily. Moving forward, we had another corner to deal with. So we shot the wall to aggro them so that they would come around that corner. The marksman rifle was proving to be very useful against cazadors. After dealing with them, we moved forward and we got the eggs. And then we died. So you see, some objects in the world will move when you run into them. Shopping carts, barrels, skeletons, or just a couple, just to name a few. These objects will do a bit of damage if you run into them too fast and if you hit them at just the right angle. We had died from a long-deceased Brahmin skull. So, avoiding the skeleton and grabbing the McMuffins we needed to complete this quest, we fast-traveled back to the Thorn. Unsurprisingly, the Fiend had respawned, and this time with a laser RCW. For those who have forgotten what the laser RCW is, well... This weapon fires 9 lasers per second. One of these lasers would kill me, so we waited until he wasn't aiming at me and aiming at someone very, very far away so that we didn't have any chance of a stray laser getting us. We took him out with the marksman rifle without any issue. Turns out that there was a second fiend though. They were melee, so I wasn't too stressed out until someone had jump scared me while I was facing them. After regaining our bearings, we had accidentally shot one of the citizens while trying to take out the fiend, so now the entire town was not happy with us. We had died quite quickly. Respawning. We had finished both of those fiends, no problem. Heading into the Thorn, next up was Deathclaws, which was actually pretty great. We had cleared Quarry Junction on the previous stream, which you can watch right here. So fast traveling to Salone, we waltzed on in there, no problem. We started the Great Khans quest while we were at it. All we had to do for that quest was fast travel to Prim to talk to Tyrone, and we slept with him. I had totally forgotten that Tyrone was an option, so add him to the list, folks. Completing the Great Khans quest and the Thorns quest, we had leveled up. Our current stats are on screen right now, and the perk that I chose was Alertness. It was at this point we realized just how many perks are related to health in some way. Our options were starting to get limited with what perks we could choose. Anyways, we had sex with Red Lucy, as Cutthroat would do. We then went over to the Atomic Wrangler to get 2 birds stoned at once. By that I mean we were going to have sex with Sergio, the smooth talker, and Beatrix, the cowgirl ghoul at the same time. And finally, to cap it all off, we had went on over to Casa Madrid and West Side to sleep with Sweetie. And it was at this point that we had decided to end it, folks. We had died 15 times on this stream, which is the most that we have died so far. But it's also the most human intercourse we've had on stream, with a solid 5 people. We also only crashed once, ladies and gentlemen. Not a bad stream, I must say so myself. But don't worry, folks. That death counter is going to skyrocket once we visit Nellis. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube and follow my Twitch. Also, please don't forget to leave a comment about what you think of this run so far, and please let me know how many deaths you think we'll get in total by the end of it. I'd love to hear what all of you have to think and say. We have stopped doing the New Vegas Monday streams for now, at least till I can get this run out on YouTube. Otherwise, we play a lot of Crossout on Twitch, which is always tons of fun. If you feel like supporting me in my goal to become a content creator, please don't forget to subscribe to my Twitch and donate to my PayPal. One day, I'd love to be able to make content for you fine folks full time, so every little bit helps me reach my dreams, as well as help me find time to make these videos and stream. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting, and I hope to see you all in the next stream or in the comment section down below. A special thanks goes out to Blackfire for sharing his talents, the folks over at EFAP for motivation, the Mitton squad for inspiration, and every one of you Twitch subs for your continued support. You guys are absolutely fabulous, and thank you all for being here. Peace out.